This podcast is brought to you by Infinite Resources, a local staffing agency connecting diverse job candidates in central Iowa companies.
I'm your host, Abena Sankofa Imhotep, and welcome back to Black and Privileged in America podcast. Catch Black and Privileged in America podcast on SoundCloud and on our very own platform, AmplifiedDSM.com. And please follow Black and Privileged in America on our Facebook page. Black and Privileged in America podcast is sponsored by Infinite Resources, connecting diverse job candidates to central Iowa companies. C.R.O.W.N, the C.R.O.W.N Act. C.R.O.W.N stands for Creating a Respectful and Open World for Natural Hair. This act prohibits hair-based discrimination at work and school. The movement to pass the C.R.O.W.N Act is gaining momentum in states across the country, as well as at the federal level. The act is about strengthening worker protections and ensuring dignity and respect for cultural expression. This is from the Economic Policy Institute. 24 states have passed the C.R.O.W.N Act into law. Iowa is not one of them. I have personally been on my lock journey for about 5 years, and it's been one of the most transformational experiences I've ever had. So when I learned of an upcoming event called the Loc Link Up to bridge our Midwestern lock community, I could not help it. I had to have today's guests on the show. So I'd like you all to welcome Tabitha Gray, the owner of Urban City, and Shanita Southward of Nita Locked It. Welcome to the show, ladies.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey.
How y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
We're good.
I'm excellent. I'm so glad you're here. So can you tell tell the listeners about yourself? So Tabby, let's start with you.
I'm Tabby G, also known as Tabitha Gray. But I'm the owner of Urban City Natural Hair Salon. I'm a certified loctician, and I just love doing natural hair, and it's just a passion of mine.
Okay, thank you, Shanita.
I am Shanita, also known as Nita. I work at Urban City with Tabby G, the Tabby G.
Tabby G.
I am a certified loctician. I love what I do. I also work with football players at Iowa State. It's been a journey. I absolutely love everything about natural hair. Short, long, locked, nappy, coarse, every bit of it.
All of it. Okay, so I want to back up just a little bit before we dig in deeper. You mentioned the phrase loctician, and I know that for a lot of my listeners, they will know what that means, but there may be some people who don't know what it means. So what is a loctician, and what does it mean to be certified?
I'll start off with that. Basically, a loctician is a specialist surrounding locks. So locticians comes in all different shapes and forms. Most locticians have a special category that they work in because locks in general is just so broad. So when you have a loctician, mostly it's just someone who specializes in the craft of doing locks. And if you become a certified loctician, that basically means that you invested in yourself to get the tools that you need, to be part of this community. Everybody can't be part of the community. Everybody can't be a loctician. Everybody could twist hair and stuff, but everybody not a loctician. So you have to invest in yourself to be a certified loctician.
That is pretty dope. That's pretty incredible. So Shanita, Tabby just mentioned, there's a broad spectrum when it comes to locks. What does that mean?
So I specialize in traditional lock styles. So it's not, I don't do like the extensions and all that. I genuinely want people to feel comfortable with like their natural. So I believe like you have some people who are A-okay with like the cosmetics. We don't deal with the cosmetics. We deal
the cosmetics, like you mean the extensions, and what else would that be?
It's basically like the extensions or like this perfect lock look, right? We deal with like the natural. How is yours going to form? They're going to form off of you and your lifestyle and what you do with them.
Wow. Okay. I love it because when I started my lock journey, I started it from, I went through this, I call it a midlife crisis. I shaved my head just random one day, right? And I said, well, if I ever grow my hair back, I'm going to lock it. And I didn't even know what color my hair was. So I discovered my real hair color, my actual texture, and I was like, I think I love me. You know, it was really awesome. And then, as I said in the opening, this lock journey has been so transformational. So have you encountered that with your clients, either of you?
Yes, ma'am. In the early phases of my lock career, I just used to just hustle and get it done. But I started like doing consultations, speaking with people more and about their insecurities about their hair. So that first step in the lock journey is very sacred for me, because it's like it's an icebreaker from like a new customer getting to meet their loctician, and they get to tell me about some of their roadblocks they had in their natural hair journey. And by the end of that, I like for them to know like it's gonna be a transition. That's the biggest takeaway. And I tell them like we're gonna be in this together.
Oh, I love it. Together.
Be in a relationship now.
Yes.
It's like you ain't in this by yourself. It's like it's so much information I want to give you, but I'm going to give it to you in steps. So we going to talk about the first step is you going to have starter locks, and that's where we starting at. And we ain't going to talk about 5 years from now. We going to talk about day one. So that's really what we do too.
I love it because it is a relationship. Do you find, like, how do you handle breakups? We'll get to that. So I guess my next question for you both is why hair care, and in particular, why natural hair? Because, you know, you can make a lot of money making a wig. You could do so well here with some sew-ins and some frontal, I don't even know the right phrases, but braids and things like that. So why natural hair as an industry?
We both have 9-year-old daughters. I believe that we both want them to like look at themselves in the mirror exactly how they came out and say that you're beautiful.
Oh, yeah, that's critical for the girls.
100%. So
and boys.
Yeah. So I don't think either one of us we thrive off of, we have girls that are natural, that they have locks, and we want you to love you before you enhance anything about yourself.
And for me, honestly, it kind of stemmed from me transitioning from Chicago to Iowa. It was just like I was like this thriving young professional, and it was just like my individuality was the roadblocks for me. It was the hair. It was the way I talk. It was the way I greeted the clients and stuff. So it's just I wanted to be in their face with it. So natural hair for me, it was just like owning my blackness, being black, and it was a struggle being in a predominantly white state. I couldn't even get my hair done. I was stressing, and I started building that relationship with myself. And then when you start reaching out there, you like, everybody going through what I'm going through. You want me to help you with your natural hair? You need deep condition. You need some texture.
Yeah.
So that's really what it was for me.
I think it's really kind of interesting, Tabitha, that you brought up Chicago. That's where you're from. So how does Chicago treat black people with natural hair as opposed to how Iowa, Des Moines in particular, central Iowa, how they treat people with natural hair?
It's definitely a trend. We are like trendsetters, so like that's where my lock style come from. I specialize in traditional lock maintenance and unique styling, so it's definitely a trend. Like when you see somebody with locks, you like, who do your hair? Let me see, turn around. It's always like that moment. So I always wanted to be a part of that too. Like if I'm gonna do locks, I want to do the dope styles. I want this to be a piece of art. So.
Yeah. And so, Shanita, for you, I know you're from Florida. Mm-hmm. And by the way, we'll just stop here and just send good vibes to Florida right now. There is Hurricane Idalia just ravaging the Tampa Bay area and all of that. So sending love and peace and good vibes to all of the Florida fam down there. So how does Floridians behave? Because I'm going to pause this question to you. Okay. And interject and say, I took a trip.
Okay.
I took a trip. This was in my bald stage.
Mm-hmm.
I took a trip to Fort Lauderdale, mm-hmm. and I turned around. Every corner, somebody had locks, and their locks were different. Mm-hmm. It wasn't a uniform, one size fits all. Mm-hmm. So I kind of know the answer to my question, but can you speak on how Florida welcomes natural hair locks in particular as opposed to Iowa?
So I went back home in March, and originally I was like, oh, Tabby, I need my hair done, right? But then I'm like, I'm going back home. Don't nobody got their hair done.
Right.
Nobody. So I get there, and everybody's like, oh, I love your hair. And I'm like, dang, my hair not done. But I'm looking, nobody's hair is done. Everybody is just
and by
very
then you
free.
Mean like a fresh retwist.
There's no retwist. There's no interlock. It's not neat. It's not even brushed up, right? They just out. They flowing.
I love that. I need to live in Florida, except for the rules.
You know, like this is my life. I love this because I don't ever have to get my hair done. But it's a lot of people, and I've learned from like the Midwest, it's like a very neat look. When you go down south, it's not neat. It's just let it be, let it go.
You think that is, it could be in part because of, the way professionalism is seen here. It's a little bit closer to whiteness because it's predominantly white here, something like that.
But I also believe, too, a lot of the people in Florida are like Caribbean. So they don't have like that be professional, look this way. They just go. And you're still going to get the job. All of my teachers, they had locks. Or they had like.
Come on, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Wait. Hold on. Hold up. Wait a minute. Let me put some dreadlocks in it.
Go
okay.
ahead.
All of your teachers had locks?
My teachers had locks. They had the nappy afros, the free forms. It was a thing. It was okay. I went to the black high school in Fort Lauderdale.
Quit it.
We didn't have this. So it wasn't, I never like experienced like hair discrimination or you need to do your hair. I never had that because everybody just let it be, let it go.
Wow, I'm so jealous. Do you feel jealous, Tabby? Like, what are you feeling right now when you hear Shanita say that?
I mean, she can walk out her house and be at a HBCU every day. I mean,
yeah. Oh, yeah. True story.
I had to take tours to go see those, but
Yeah.
Wow.
My high school was a mini HBCU, so.
Come on. I'm just feeling like these black butterflies in my chest, like longing for more blackness. But anyway, okay. I love it.
yeah, black girl dream right there.
For real. # Black Girl Dream.
Yes.
I love it. Thank you, Tabby. You're a genius. So what are some common misconceptions that are associated with locks? I mean, there's a bunch. I can name a few. Weed heads and, pot smokers, that kind of thing. What else?
That they're dirty.
The hair or the person or both?
Both.
Ooh.
For me, it's the criminal. It's the black criminal, the thug. So that's the biggest one that we haven't. That I face, being born and raised where I'm from. If you have dreads or something, you're a target to get pulled over or anything like that. You're a criminal. You're no good. You're up to no good. So
what does it mean to wear locks then? If that's the misconception about the hair, then what is the social statement that people like us, all of us are in here locked like nobody's business right now. I'm so proud of that. But what is the social statement we're making, in your opinion?
We're free.
There you go. I think that's just one word to sum it up. We free, we powerful, we the black intelligence. This is who we are. We ain't letting go our ether.
Yes.
So that's just what it is. It's like we free. We black and free, black and proud.
# Black and free, y'all. Yeah. Okay, listen, all the hashtags today. I'm curious about your hair journeys. And I really think it's important to share that with people who may be considering going natural, may be considering locks, and they may be concerned about those misconceptions and how they'll be viewed by people who don't wear their hair that way or even by family. So, Tabitha, let's start with you. What was your lock journey like?
For me, I've been a loctician for 10 years, and I've only been 8 months locked. So,
okay. Wait a minute. I didn't realize that. I thought you were like locked for life.
Yeah, I agree.
Wow.
And I did have a hard time stepping over to my journey. I was an urban professional. I was like the fashionista. My hair was a big part of it. Was a big thing for me. I always was changing it, had my hairstyle set up for the year. I didn't play about my hair. So for me, I did the big chop. I wanted to have a new set. I wanted to practice what I preach. I wanted to have a fresh new ether, a new beginning. So I did it deep, like how I recommend to my clients. I cut it all off, and grew it back natural.
Okay, so when you grew it back, you cut it off to an inch, a TWA, teeny weeny afro? What was your length?
I cut it off. I had a fade, and I just had a little bang in the front because, my forehead a little
That's
big.
hot. I bet that was hot.
It was hot, and I rocked it freeform, too. I let it be wild, let it be afro-y and nappy.
That's amazing. So what'd your family think?
My mama said every time I talk to her, girl, you gonna get your hair done? And then it's done. I brush it when I get in the shower. It's
right.
okay. But they really embraced it. Now they love my lock journey. They just like, this is you. I was like, I know. It was always me. I just was fighting it, like, to these beauty standards and stuff. But, yeah, they love it.
We're going to come back to the beauty standards, okay? We've got to. I think we owe our listeners that. Shanita, what was your lock journey like?
Let's see. I cut all of my hair off in 2018. I had a fade with waves, and I loved it.
You had waves?
I had waves. I was
wow.
spinning. I moved here, and I was having a hard time finding somebody to cut my hair, like, as a female. Mm-hmm. Like, I kept running into people that cut my hair, and they wanted to, like, line my front up.
I was going to say, did you have that hard line issue?
It was stressing me out. Mm-hmm. So then I was just like, I'm going to grow my hair back. So it took me 2 years of growing my hair back, and I thought I was going to be a naturalista making YouTube videos and stuff, but I'm like, it costs too much, and it takes too much time. So then I sat in the mirror on my floor, and I started my locks. I just started twisting.
Had you ever done them before that point? You've done other hair?
I had locks before, and I got up. Well, I seen women with like short haircuts all over Facebook, and I'm like, oh, I'm about to try it.
Okay.
I got up on a Wednesday, and I'm like, I'm going to the barbershop, cut my hair off. I was a little nervous, but he started in the front, so
no turning back. If
he chopped the first one off in the front, so I was like, well, I guess I'm bald now, and we went from there. But I enjoyed it, and I've enjoyed my lock journey this time 10 times more. Because I just let it go. I could care less if it was done, if it was not, if it looked fluffy, if it didn't, if it was done. I didn't care. So,
I am so with you. I don't care. Like, I will come and get a retwist when I have an engagement. If I got to do something really big or important, yes, please, somebody do my hair. Other than that, I'm just going to be, it's what it is.
Let it go.
Okay. I want to circle back to the beauty standards because, I mean, clearly what the media shows us is that there is an American standard of beauty, and it has tended historically to be white women, long straight hair, a thin nose, and very Eurocentric facial features, that kind of thing. So what do you, and I don't even know if today it is the same standard of beauty, because it seems to me that if you look at media now, everybody's trying to be ethnic in some way. Everybody wants a big ass. Mm-hmm. Everybody wants full lips. Everybody wants something other than who they were born to be. And I don't mean that I'm not shading the LGBTQs. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that how a little girl, as you were mentioning your daughters before, so how a little girl sees herself is, in their childhood, that's impacted by, family and close friends, who's ever in their immediate environment. But if they turn the TV on, they might think that they are supposed to grow up and look like a Kardashian. That's what I'm saying. So how do you speak to that? What are your thoughts on the American standard of beauty, whatever that may be right now?
That's actually just a good question. I think like everybody is kind of like teeter-tottering back and forth. What's professional, what's not professional, what's beautiful, what's not beautiful. And I just, in my household, I just been being a role model.
Yeah.
And then just pushing confidence, So the beauty standard is you. You are beautiful from the inside out, not on the outside.
I love that. You tell your daughters, your kids, that you are the standard. Mm-hmm. I love it. Are you 100%. Totally vibing with that?
100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Gosh. Okay. Listen, everyone out there, there are nuggets here. I hope you're grabbing the nuggets. Tell your kids that they are the standard. Oh my goodness. So in the opening, also, I mentioned the C.R.O.W.N Act, creating a respectful and open world for natural hair. There's been instances of hair discrimination, little girls going to school, or teenagers, boys, having to cut their dreadlocks before they can play a sport, or not being able to participate in graduation ceremonies because of their hair hanging past their collars. Like, what are your thoughts on that? Because Iowa has not passed that law. And I feel like it's even shameful that there needs to be a law to show up as yourself. That what in the world? But apparently we need that. So what are your thoughts on that law, that movement, Iowa being slow to get it together? What are your thoughts?
We going to stand up for that, and that's what we going to do. We going to support it. we need the Crowns Act. Me personally, I have been discriminated against about my hair. I was turned down for promotions because they told me my hair. I like braids to my ankles.
Yeah.
I like it that far down, and they just like, I like it when your hair's straight. It's more professional.
You mean your employer at the time said that to you?
Mm-hmm. And you know, I'm black and proud. I said, when your hair's dry, it's more professional.
Ooh.
I was like, your hair is wet. Like, I would never come to work with just out the shower hair wet. But, you know, that's just our perception. So
right.
I think it's necessary. And I'm standing up for it.
I love it. Shanita, what do you think about the Crown Act?
I love it. I don't think that it should be necessary, but it absolutely is. I think most of us have dealt with some kind of discrimination in the workforce because of our hair. I worked at a job where I like wearing my afro out, and I'm not going to pick it out. It's just, I woke up this way, I'm going to spray some water on it, shake it, and we going to go.
Hey, I love it, yeah.
Yep, their words were like, are you going to put that up? No, I'm not. I'm like, is it a safety hazard? No.
Wow.
Oh, okay. No, I'm not.
So I'm sitting here with two people, technically three, because I have also experienced hair discrimination in the workforce, in the workplace. We've all experienced that, and I think that is sad. It's really unfortunate that companies and organizations are missing out on the creativity and innovation of qualified, intelligent, educated Black people because of something so silly as worrying about what somebody's hair look like.
And it's a big thing of, like, just lack of education as well, you know. I just think it's just lack of education and knowing, you know, like, this is my hair, this is my texture, and this is how it's going to be. I shouldn't have to alter it or anything to be accepted by anybody. So it's just lack of education.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
And even with us altering it, it's damaging to our hair. For us to cover it that often, for us to straighten it and relax it, we're losing our hair. I mean, like, they literally have, like, a lawsuit going for people who receive, like, relaxers.
Yeah, because it gets in the bloodstream and causes, cancer and a whole bunch of other stuff.
So it's just like, in order for us to meet your beauty standards, we're killing ourselves? Absolutely not. Yeah. It's hair. It grew out of my hair like this. Why should I have to, like, alter it this much to get it, like, to just survive and take care of myself? That's not okay.
And just to add to that, too, I had multiple occasions where men called because they were, like, further in their career in truck driving, and they was like, I got to cut my locks off above my shoulders because they're seeing, like, it's a hazard to drive. And I was like, no, I could style it for you or something to pull it back for you. I was like, I won't cut it for that reason. And it was just me taking a stand. Like, I'll tell you no because I want you to think about it. I want you to process it before you do that. Don't let them discriminate against you.
So does that negatively impact your client? Like, when you styled his hair and put it back for him, did his job or his supervisor or employer say something else about it? Like, what was the response, I guess?
No, we styled that hair above his shoulders, and now he's a truck driver. He
got
got his own business.
Wow.
And we going to cross that obstacle together, you know, but I ain't cutting the hair. Not for that reason.
Oh, wow. So y'all, I mean, can we clone you too? Can we put you out into the world to bring Loc Light into the world? Like, come on, this is amazing.
It's more of us out here.
Yes. Shout out to all the locticians that is in Des Moines. You know, it's a community, and we all work together to polish all of our Black professionals who are, like, you know, positive role models and a voice for the community. So it's definitely a job. This is a full-time job and responsibility for the community.
I'm sure it is. You know, a lot of people go to the salon and see their beautician because it's a safe place. Beauty shops in our community and barbershops too. Let me shout out the barbers.
Yes.
For real. It's a gathering place, a sacred, safe, free space for us. Why do you think that is? And do you feel like a mental health professional at times? Like, come on, and let's really unpack that.
Absolutely. But it's also, you know, like the stigma of going to a therapist in the Black community. Like, I don't need no therapist, girl. I'm about to go see my hairstylist real quick and we'll be fine. Right?
We work it out in the chair.
We got it. And it is a thing. So I do think that like it's something that's needed, because sometimes, back in the day, I remember like my grandfather going to the barbershop and just sitting there. He didn't get no haircut. He just was here for the day.
Wow.
Or whatever conversation went on. And I believe that's something that we still need, especially in Iowa, because we don't have a lot of like black spaces. So it's nice that they come into Urban City and we very urban.
More urban. So Tabby, what do you say about, the proclivity of our community to view the beauty shop and the barbershops as that's our place? We can go there and literally let our hair down.
Well, I guess we're in the open world now. We really didn't have like health and wellness, and mental health wasn't a big thing. It wasn't something that we talk about in the black community, but it's needed for all individuals. And honestly, getting our hair done, it was like top tier of self-care. So when people come in there, they're like, I'm treating myself.
Yes.
This is for me. And I feel them. I'm like, and I'm going to do my job. I'm going to do what I got to do.
You're so right about that, because I remember my mom, when she turned 40, we were kids, and she had this big deal where she made a big deal out of turning 40. She went and got her nails done, her toes done. She got glamour shots, right? Remember glamour shots? Are y'all old enough?
Yes.
She got glamour shots, got her hair did, and it was like a huge deal. But certainly the part about, getting her hair done was crucial. She had to have that crown just right. And so, I mean, that's something that as a child, I look back and I take that away. Part of self-care is going to see your loctician or your stylist and sitting in that chair and relaxing and just being able to be you. So that's amazing. Do either of you feel like, because we're in this age of DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, do you feel like the clients that you serve are being or somehow benefiting from DEI efforts in their workplaces and experiencing less hair discrimination than what you two talked about you experienced?
Because it's like having that polished approach. For me, like, I like to send my clients back to work looking good and hair smelling good, and that's the attention grabber and stuff. And fixing their crown, like when their hair is done and it's to those standards that they want, they're more confident. They're just better leaders. You're better when your hair is done.
And we have a ton of clients that come in and they're like, when I go back to work, they come like, oh, what is this? Oh, can I touch it? No, you can't touch their hair.
You better not touch don't touch my hair.
But a lot of people they're like super, it's like if I see your hair now and it's untwisted, so we see like the afro. Yeah. But now you come back and you got like this intricate style, like, whoa, what's that? Like it is kind of like exciting to see. So it's nice when they come back with the stories like, when I go back to work, I just know they're going to ask questions about my hair. Girl, go ahead, let them ask. What kind of questions they got?
Because, we look like two different people. When your hair is done.
That's right. Hey, we talk about practicing how to say, don't touch my hair. How we do our curves, how we get them off. Yeah. I like that.
Got to swerve them.
Yeah, got to get them up off.
Okay, so you decided, Tabby, to create a space where locked people, I gotta say it, I'm getting tongue tied here, where locked people who wear dreadlocks can come together and be in community with one another. Can you tell us about the Loc Link Up?
Yes. Basically, I just want to bring everybody together. Basically, like, I can't even describe it. It's just so much that's gonna come good out of this. I really want like the kids to have like an image of themselves as future leaders. I want them to see an example of themselves as a bigger person. I also want women to come together and uplift each other as well, and just have that connection when it comes to their natural hair. Share your stories and stuff. Share those things to enhance the community even more, because that's what it is. It's a community. Like, we all need each other. A lot of women are in these groups on Facebook and stuff, but you can have a community right here. You can have a sister, cousin, or anybody, and we can have these type of conversations about the hair, and it not be a problem or nothing.
So you're bringing, the virtual communities that have been built around locked hair and saying, hey, let's get together in person.
Yeah, basically, that's what it is, and just celebrate. I feel like it's worth celebrating. I really feel like the lock community here in Des Moines has came so far, and then especially like with the C.R.O.W.N Act it not being approved in Iowa, I think it's just time for us to take up space, and I think it's like way more power in numbers. I want to see us in the numbers. I want them to see like this is an impact, and it's a lot of individuals like you who's trying to make a difference, if that makes sense, or just on their own journey transitioning over from what they thought was a certain standard into where they're at now, because it's a journey. It's a mental journey. And I went on my journey. I feel good.
And you look good too, both of you. Like, I feel so connected, you know, when you see someone else who is on, mind you, everybody's journey is different.
Yes.
But when you see someone else who is doing something similar to what you're doing, it's like, oh yeah, I do have a sister. I do have someone that understands the struggle and the joy, the pain and the sunshine, all that.
And I think it's nice when people come into Urban City, they see Tabby, she started her locks, and then mine are already locked, but our journeys were completely different, right? Tabby never not once wanted to comb her locks out.
Really?
Me?
So you were in it to win it.
She was ready.
That's awesome.
Me, I was like, oh my God.
Second thoughts, third thoughts.
It was just, it was all over the place. Like, and I still was struggling with if this was okay. Like, if it was okay for my hair to be all over the place. I didn't care, but when it came time to go on a date, to go on a job interview, I'm like, no, I don't know what to do with this.
Right.
Like, so it was, she never said anything. And I'm like.
But it took me 5 years to get there.
5 years. Oh, yes. Okay, y'all are helping so many people right now. Yeah. I believe that as a result, I'm making a prediction. As a result of this episode of Black and Privileged in America podcast, we are going to see a revolution of natural hair in this city. We're going to see some more people being locked, and they can find community at the Loc Link Up. So where is it? When is it? What are the activities and the festivities that are going to take place?
Yes, we've been working so hard on this. This is the things I like to talk about. We got a full kids section. We got the playground. We got bounce houses. We got the heritage carousel for the kids. We got face painters and balloon artists.
Wow. So this is Union Park in Des Moines?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yep, Union Park. I'm sorry, missed the location. Union Park in Des Moines. So that's for the kids. For the adults, we got hookah. We got live music. We got sip and paint provided by Yvette Sutton.
Yes.
And then, we got food. I love black people like food, so we got food for y'all. And I'm just hoping everybody could fall in and make different contributions to this event. So that's what it's like, that open space for y'all to utilize, come and support. We got vendors coming out, and it's getting real big.
So we're going to be out in the open air at Union Park on September 9th?
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and from what time to what time?
3 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Okay, who should be there? Who do you want to be there? Can just anybody, just random come? If you got a kid, can you bring your child even if you don't have locks? Like what? Yep. Who do you want to be there?
We want everybody to be there.
You got to like natural hair. That's the only requirement. You have to love natural hair, and you are welcome to come.
And you don't have to be on your journey yet. You know, we can convince you when you get there. Yeah, we can convince you. But come out and come see how we do things.
Wow. Oh, that's powerful. Come and see. Listen, y'all. Come and see how we do it. We are locked, okay?
Locked and free.
Locked and free. Okay, this is
you're
amazing.
You're going to see some afros. You're going to see some locks. You're going to see some big afros, little afros. Yeah. You're going to see some ponytails, some braids. You're going to see a little bit of everything, because we come in all forms.
Yeah, we're not monolithic.
Nope, we're not. So come hang out with us. Come, Cousin Pete, come on. Like, we're going to have a good time.
Love it. Okay, so I have this thing every episode where I ask my guests what books they're reading, because I'm the director of Sankofa Literary and Empowerment Group. We do books by Black authors. So your book that you may be reading or that you may recommend does not have to be by a Black author, but I'd like for you to enlighten our listeners and maybe share what you are reading right now. So, Tabby, what are you reading?
I hate to say this, but I'm a mom of 3, so we've been reading children's book.
That's excellent. Yes.
Right now, we are on Dr. Seuss, but a book that's really big up in our household is I Love My Hair. So that's a great book to go read. I can't give you guys the author right off the top, but I Love My Hair is good, and Dr. Seuss always do it for us.
I Love My Hair and Dr. Seuss. Awesome, awesome. Something for the kids. I love it. Thank you, Tabby. Shanita, what are you reading?
I am reading, it's Butterfly Part 5 by Ashley Antoinette.
Okay.
So she has like a whole series of books. I'm kind of addicted to her series. I got addicted during the pandemic, and Butterfly Part 5 came out. I pre-ordered it 2 years ago.
Wow.
Just came. So now I'm enjoying my little journey with this book.
Okay, that's great. For me, I stay reading. But I have two that I want to recommend. Initially, I was just going to recommend one, but this conversation has kind of sparked something else that I want to share with the listeners. The first book I'll recommend, of course, is Hair Love by Matthew Cherry. It is also a children's book because I think, as you both were saying earlier, it's important to reinforce to the kids that you're beautiful just the way you are. So Hair Love by Matthew Cherry is one. And the second one is called Carter Reads the Newspaper by Jacqueline Wood. Oh, gosh, I forgot her last name, but it'll be in the show notes. But this is why I want to recommend Carter Reads the Newspaper. It's about a little boy who reads the newspaper every day after school to some gentlemen, some OGs, like OGs who are sitting around at the barbershop talking about the issues of the world, but they can't read. They can't read. So they give him change when he gets in from school and says, go buy every newspaper you can get with this money. And he does, and he brings the newspapers back to the barbershop. He reads the newspapers to the OGs, and then they discuss what's going on in the world.
Oh, that's nice.
That's building community based around, what we were talking about, the sacred nature of our barbershops and beauty shops.
Yes.
So,
I love that.
That's nice.
The kids around the shop are very symbolic too. I definitely don't have no kids in the shop. Like, kids are welcome. Because it's like empowering our future leaders. I love that. He gonna be next news anchor.
Yes, right. So we'll have all that information for you guys in the show notes. So
Urban City love the kids.
Urban City loves the kids. Where can our listeners find you online? Where's your shop located? What are some just parting things that you would like people to know?
You guys can follow me on Instagram under Tabby _the influencer. You also can follow Urban City Natural Hair Salon. We're located at 3500 2nd Avenue here in Des Moines. And you can call us at 515-803-4714.
My Instagram is Nita Locked It. You can also find me on Facebook at Nita Locked It. My phone number is area code 567-868-7065.
Wonderful. Thank you both so much for being here today. This has been amazing. And I'm on this lock journey. I'm locked for life, and I don't intend to cut my hair ever. So thank you both for being here.
Yes. You're going to have to get somebody else to do it if you want to cut it.
Because Tabby G is not cutting my
cut
locks.
no hair. We do not cut no hair.
No. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is Abena Sankofa Imhotep, and this has been another amazing episode of Black and Privileged in America podcast presented by AmplifiedDSM.com. Today, we've been in community with Tabby G and Shanita Southward, talking about all things natural hair. And we hope you'll join us all at the Loc Link Up at Union Park in Des Moines, Iowa on September the 9th from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. Bring the kids. Also, visit our website at www.amplifieddsm.com and my website, abenasankofa.com. Black and Privileged in America podcast is sponsored by Infinite Resources, connecting diverse job candidates to Central Iowa companies. Thanks for listening. Until next time.
This podcast is brought to you by Infinite Resources, a local staffing agency connecting diverse job candidates and Central Iowa companies.